Howdy folks, hope you're all having a great weekend and welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters, where Inquisitor Waifu has been hard at work researching the Codex Toxicus. This is what we're going to need to track down the 5 demon princes at the heart of the Bloomspawn strain. I can't help but think that this is a definite case of be careful what you wish for, because I'm not entirely sure I'm going to like finding the demon princes responsible for the 5 different Bloomspawn strains. But hey, if you can't take a joke, you shouldn't have joined the Grey Knights.
What is this abomination?
Our salvation.
The edict shudders with anxiety. This work profanes the machine god.
Mars will forgive us. The fate of the entire galaxy hinges on the psychic insight of the Codex. With it, we can track the Prime Seeds and hunt each Reaper down.
How do we proceed?
I will require a number of seeds from a single strain of the bloom. With those in hand, I can attune the Codex to the strain's psychic stench, tracking its most potent source amongst the stars.
Query: do the prime seeds within these Reapers emanate above all others?
Precisely. The Codex will hone in on this power within the Reaper. From there, we will hunt them down one by one.
Why do I get the feeling you are enjoying this?
If I am right, and I always am, each strain will wither without its Reaper to tend it, and we score another victory for humanity.
This is no game to take pleasure in, Fakir.
That's Inquisitor to you. We share in this sacred duty, Purifier. Would you deny me the brief satisfaction of a job well done?
Noted, Inquisitor. But this job is not finished yet.
Why is everybody looking at me? Oh, shit. Right, okay. Plot advanced. Codex Toxicus unlocked. However, this is just the first step. Researching the Codex Toxicus just allows you to, well, it gives you 2 requisition points, which is always welcome, but it just allows you to start researching the locations of the 5 different greater demon princes. Once you've done that, you still have to travel to the location, beam a squad down and kill them, and in order to do that, I think I'm going to be a bit more comfortable with more than just the couple of basic stratagems that I have unlocked. So, stratagem research it is. The question is, which one? I mean, I have Gate of Infinity and I have Quicksilver. These are the ones I've been using since the beginning of the game, and they're very useful with the bonus 2 action points from Quicksilver and the squad teleport with Gate of Infinity, but I'm liking the look of this precision bombard. Calling down an orbital strike with the Baleful Edict's guns sounds very impressive, but I'm going to have to go through the Torpor stratagem first, which immobilises all visible enemies and isn't a bad stratagem itself, so we'll start some work on that, and then it's time to deal with some more Bloomspawn. I always try to position myself in a nice central location to better reach the Bloomspawn when they pop up, and one of them's popped up in a sector right next to me, and it's a nice, relatively easy danger level 0 mission where you just have to eliminate all seed carriers. The corruption level is very, very low, although when I say easy, I mean that's kind of relative at this stage of the game, because this system is covered by my prognosticars, which means that there is 0 warp surge risk. However, have a look at some of these enemies. Remember, this is danger level easy. Hell Brutes. What's a Hell Brute when it's at home, Jingles? It's a Chaos Dreadnought. It's a walking tank. Yeah. This is at this stage of the game, that's the game's idea of easy. Okay. What do we have over here? Slightly more serious, not covered by my prognosticars. I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm not getting too excited about the armory access rewards here. Although kill 9 enemies with ranged weapons, the glorious deed is doable. What about this one? Oh, that looks bad. That is very bad. Danger level, well, it says medium, but holy shit, that is a lot of corruption. However, have a look at that tier 2 grenades. I'm not too concerned about the rank 5 apothecary, but tier 2 storm bolters, power armor, and force halberds. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to do that, but we're going to do this one first because it's on the way. And this should be a nice training mission for my brand new librarian and chaplain. So I'm sending in a team consisting of Justicar Iolanthus, Chaplain Storm, Librarian Foros, and Paladin Thule, all 4 Marines in Terminator armor.
Data indicates the Sons of the Putrid Eye use these roads as a base of operation.
Another foul cult of Nurgle. There is little doubt we will find more of these seeds below. Brothers, advance.
Right, 4 seed carriers to deal with. One there, one over here, and one over here. No glorious deed on this mission because it was to complete the mission without using any willpower, and I've got a librarian, so there's absolutely no way that's going to happen. I'm a bit concerned about the Chaos Dreadnought that my prognosticars have revealed is present on this planet, because I've never seen a Dreadnought before. I mean, I know what a Dreadnought is. When a Marine is so badly injured that he's no longer capable of fighting, they encase him in this armoured, mobile, and heavily armed sarcophagi. It's basically a massively armed and armoured combination of a walking tank and a life support system to keep the Marine in the fight, hence the quote from Dawn of War, "Even in death I serve." Oh, and it's the first thing we come across. Well, of course it is. Right, I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to be here at the end of the turn. So, let's take a closer look at the Hellbrute. Holy shit, that thing has a lot of health and armor. So let's see exactly what it does. It looks like it's just activated the plasma cannon charge shot. Not a plasma pistol, a plasma cannon. So yeah, it can also grab one of my Marines, preventing them from acting during their turn, then inflict a load of damage and throw them around. It can charge, doing damage to anything in its way. Wow, this thing is dangerous. It's completely immune to being panicked, plagued, or knocked back, and when you kill it, it explodes and destroys everything around it. Okay, good to know. So, Librarian Foros, I think we have need of the upgrade that you've just unlocked for your teleport ability, which allows us to warp charge it and teleport the entire squad. It's basically the Gate of Infinity stratagem, except it doesn't cost everybody 1 action point. And he can keep using it as long as he has the willpower. Although it does cost 5 willpower. And remember, with the prognosticar bonus on this planet, we don't get warp surge, except we do when we use willpower. And that cost 5 willpower, which means the warp surge just went up to 25%. So using it is not without the downsides. But we are carving this Hellbrute up like you would not believe. Get stuck in there, my sons. Go on, Iolanthus. Thule, up you go. There's no need to expend any further willpower here. Reduced it to 1 hit point, but I do want the new boys to be the ones getting the kills. So, where's my chaplain? Chaplain Storm. There you are. Kill this thing. Getcha. There it is. Right, now we need to get the hell out of here before it explodes. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. But then again, it was alone, and it did take the entire squad to kill it. If those things start operating with any kind of backup and support, I would have been completely at their mercy. So let's not get too confident. But still, it's a nice easy first kill. Oh, I didn't extract the seed, did I? God damn it. Oh well, nobody's perfect. Also, note, I don't have any grenades. And that's deliberate this time, just for once. I had to do the previous mission without using any grenades, and instead I stacked things like Sacred Incense for bonus willpower on everybody, and I'm starting to see the benefits of that, particularly when you're running a squad with something like a Chaplain and a Librarian, where you really, really need to have as much willpower as possible in order to make their special abilities work. Note that my stratagems are greyed out. Yes, I do not actually have access to any of my stratagems on this mission, despite this planet being covered by my prognosticars, and that's because Inquisitor Vakir is still wounded from the previous mission, and when she's wounded, you don't get access to stratagems. Oh, hello. Blight Hauler. A couple of Plague Marines. Quite a few Plague Marines, actually. And one of them has a hazard spray. That's a lot of ranged enemies. And the ground I have to cover to get to them. Oh, actually, hold on. First things first. Okay, that's the Medicae servo skull, because I don't have an apothecary on this mission, so I want some kind of medical ability, but there's the extractor skull. So let's actually grab the seed first. These are the new seeds, I don't have a lot of them. Now here's the thing, in order to get to those guys and kill them, I'm going to have to channel the squad through a relatively narrow piece of terrain. There's a Plague Marine up there with a hazard spray, which would be bad. Now I could just teleport everybody up there again with the Gate of Infinity from Librarian Foros, but he's down to 8 willpower and it costs 5 willpower every time I do it. Plus, it's going to increase the warp surge by another 25%. And while Librarians do get an ability to actually stop a warp surge completely or reduce the warp surge percentage, he doesn't have those abilities yet, and it would cost even more willpower for him to use, but I do have other options. Those are all ranged enemies. Chaplain Storm can provoke them by basically yelling at them and saying, "Your mother was a hamster and your father stank of elderberries," and they will all get so mad they will forget to shoot. The downside, of course, is that they'll all charge straight towards Chaplain Storm and try to melee him, but he's a big boy, he can take it. So, unfortunately, he couldn't hit all 4 of them, but he's gotten the 2 Plague Marines without the hazard spray and the Blight Hauler. So, having enraged 3 of the 4 enemies, we're going to use his last remaining action point to move him back. And then we're going to deal with the guy with the hazard spray, because he's the only one that can still shoot. Debating whether or not to use a Force Strike here, because Iolanthus only has the 1 action point left, and even the Force Strike isn't going to kill him, so no point in spending the willpower. We'll just hit him. You know, a better idea there would have been to use the Hammerhand ability to crit and disable his ranged weapon, but I didn't think of it at the time. Anyway, next up, Paladin Thule. I blow some willpower to cast Smite on the Blight Hauler. Again, I wasn't really thinking tactically here, because the Blight Hauler isn't going to shoot anything. It's been provoked, so I really should have done that to finish off the guy with a hazard spray, which would have been a much safer use of the ability, but we're going to go ahead and defend, because they're all going to have to go through Paladin Thule in order to get to Chaplain Storm. Now I'm thinking about finishing off the guy with a hazard spray, but yeah, I really didn't think this one through. Although despite my misuse of Paladin Thule's smite attack on the Blight Hauler rather than the hazard sprayer, it still wouldn't have killed him, and I can't actually get Librarian Foros up into a position where he can still shoot him with any action points remaining, so instead I'll just set Overwatch, and oh, there goes the Hellbrute. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, you don't want to be standing anywhere near one of those things when it dies. Here comes the Blight Hauler, walks straight through a plasma cell, which kills it, also triggering Librarian Foros's Overwatch to no great effect. The first Plague Marine runs straight into Paladin Thule's defend ability. The guy with the hazard spray doesn't actually use it, which is kind of lucky. He does a disrupt attack on Iolanthus instead, but Iolanthus wasn't channeling anything, so it doesn't matter. The final Plague Marine manages to walk right up to Chaplain Storm without triggering any kind of reaction attacks, but doesn't have enough action points to do anything when he gets there. So, let's finish off this guy with a hazard spray. Iolanthus, you are up. Yeah, 1 more of those will do. He does 5 damage with his Force Halberd. Now, Paladin Thule. Bitch slap this guy, please. Again, I'm not really thinking this through tactically, because I killed this guy with Paladin Thule, and I really should have killed him with, well, somebody who'd expended willpower and who needed the experience. There is still 1 Plague Marine left though, and he's the filling in a Librarian and Chaplain sandwich. I move the Librarian Foros in and I start smacking him about. Ideally, I probably should have killed this guy with Librarian Foros, because he needs the willpower most. But, well, I mean, you know, the Chaplain used his provoke ability, he could use the willpower as well. And these are the two guys who need the experience. So, I mean, I could have done it better. I'll happily admit to that. But they're all dead, and somebody who needed the XP and the willpower was the one who got the kill, even if it wasn't the person who most needed the willpower. Anyway, third group of seed carriers. Now this is actually a fairly nasty combination. It's a plague-ridden with a cloud of flies up around him, which reduces any ranged damage on anybody within the cloud of flies, and he's surrounded by a bunch of cultists, all with mutations and ranged weapons. Right, first things first. Who has an extractor servo skull?
What is your will?
There we go. Iolanthus has one, but he's just not quite in range of the seed carrier. In fact, nobody's in range of the seed carrier. Right. Where's my librarian? Because I feel a gate of infinity coming on. Surprise! It's me! Right. Who's first? Well, first things first, of course, extract the seed. These things are extremely valuable. I cannot afford to be squandering them. So,
This is coming with me.
I was thinking about sending Iolanthus right into the middle of that lot and then using his rend ability, but, well, a couple of things. That would probably kill a lot of the cultists, and he's not the one who needs the experience. Librarian Thoros is, so we're going to nuke that plasma cell instead. As well as the experience, of course, the kill gains him a little bit of willpower. And does a huge knockback, which has actually kind of worked against us here. Because it means we now have more ground to cover to actually get to those guys. So, I'm going to shoot up the guy on the flank. One more shot should kill him, except, yeah, that was Forrest's third action point, wasn't it? He shot twice and used Gate of Infinity. Alright, so we'll finish him off with the Chaplain, because, hey, he needs the experience and willpower as well. So there's one. Oh, look, there's a Chaos Bloom seed over there. I must remember to pick that up. We can clean up another kill here with the Chaplain. So that's nice. That just leaves, what, 2 cultists, one of whom is very badly injured, and the Plague-ridden. Chaplain Storm has 1 action point left, and I want to save that actually and try to clean up a kill with it for some bonus experience. Instead, we're going to send Paladin Fool in to start dealing with that Plague-ridden. No crits, unfortunately. Hit it again, still no crits. Iolanthus. Yeah, you still have all of your action points. Ooh, I think we might... You know, I've never used his crushing charge. What the hell? See what it does. Oh, it does that, okay. Small amount of damage, large amount of knockback. Okay, fair enough. 2 action points left, yes, with 4 strikes. Iolanthus is wearing Terminator armor. That means his expenditure of willpower does not increase the warp surge, which is good because it's up to 85%. There goes the Plague-ridden. Unfortunately, yeah, Chaplain Storm with his 1 action point remaining doesn't have the range to hit that final cultist. What else can he do? Nothing particularly useful. Oh, never mind. Librarian Thoros, Aegis Shield triggers automatically at the end of the turn. I am really not worried about a single Plague cultist with an auto gun. Not when I've got a bunch of Marines in Terminator armor. He sets Overwatch. Wait, that fall did not kill the other cultist. Okay, that's kind of disappointing. Actually, no, that's good news, because it means there are now 2 cultists left alive that the new boys can farm kills on. I just have to get them over there. And I'm really not concerned about triggering the Overwatch. I mean, you know, these guys have a lot of armor. Unfortunately, that guy's in... Yeah, we're going to have to side-bolt it in order to actually get the kill, because he's in half cover, which reduces the range damage. Librarian Thoros is too far away, and on 4 willpower, too far away to get the kill, and recover the 5th willpower point that he's going to need to be able to do Gate of Infinity again. But that's okay, I have a cunning plan. Instead, we're going to finish this guy off with Iolanthus, and use Librarian Thoros to pick up that stray Chaos Seed that was lying around, which also gives him a bonus willpower point. So now he's at 5 willpower. We've got the Gate of Infinity ready to go to deal with the last group of seed carriers. And that's actually a pretty nasty group. A Plague-ridden, a Plague Priest, and a bunch of cultists. The warp surge is up to 90%, which is purely through my own efforts. There's no actual warp surge on this planet with the prognosticar coverage and the corruption level. That warp surge is up to 90% purely based on my own use of willpower. The apostate preacher, he's the one with the seed. Actually, he's got 3 seeds. Okay, we're going to want to get those. So I can feel a gate of infinity coming on. I need to be careful though. I mean, obviously this is going to trigger a warp surge, but I'm just going to have to deal with that. But they're right next to a bunch of fuel tanks, which could work in my favour as long as I don't end up any closer to the fuel tanks than I need to. So I need to pick the target location for the gate of infinity with care. That'll do. Up and at 'em, boys. Now, you'd think at this point I would have remembered that as soon as I extract the last seed, I get the reinforcements.
The threat to the bloom has been contained, but I sense more of Nurgle's minions on the way. We should recover your brothers, and my seeds.
But of course, I completely forgot. Could have been a lot worse though. Only 2 waves of reinforcements.
I proceed from this room.
Right, so we have to hold out for 3 turns, and or just kill everything. Let's start by taking out the most dangerous enemies first. The Plague Ridden has a lot of health, but the Apostate Preacher is going to be a lot easier to kill. I only get 2 attacks with Librarian Forrest though, because he just used the Gate of Infinity. Unfortunately, I forgot about that again, so he's denied a kill and the experience from it. But then again, Iolanthus is more or less at full willpower, and I haven't actually used Honour the Chapter on anybody yet, so we'll go ahead and give Foros another 2 action points, allowing him to get the kill on the Apostate Preacher, get the experience, recover a willpower point. Paladin Thule. I think we're going to start smacking at some cultists. Do I want to get the kill? Ah, what the hell. Why not? 1 action point left. It's not going to be enough for Fool to... Oh, hang on. Fury of the Ancient. I completely forgot about this ability. I should have probably led with that. But whatever. We'll use it now. So that's taking care of the threat to the flank. I think there's still another cultist on the other side. But there's this Plague Ridden. Boros still has 1 action point, so... And he... Well, yeah, we'll save the willpower, you never know. It's not going to kill the Plague Ridden. These things do have a lot of health. Right, Iolanthus, 2 action points, and 2 cultists over there as well, which, again, you know, providing none of them are grenadiers, I'm not that concerned about. I would like to disable this Plague Ridden's special abilities though, so we'll Hammerhand crit, and I think... Yeah, we'll disable his Stream of Corruption, because that's a very nasty area of effect attack, which apparently you disable by chopping its head off. I should have, again, this is something I should have probably done earlier, moved Iolanthus in and used the Rend ability to take a whole bunch of them down at once. Oh, hang on a minute, that's going to hit the fuel cell, isn't it? Yes, it is! But then again, nobody really appeared to be too badly hurt by it, so I guess, you know, it's all good. Now then, Chaplain Storm, 2 action points left. You should be able to kill 1 cultist with 2 action points, which leaves 1 cultist and the 2 waves of reinforcements. So what's he going to do with his remaining... You know what, we're just going to set up Overwatch. I think that's all we can reasonably expect to be able to do here with 1 Marine and with 1 action point, so we'll go ahead and do that. We're now, of course, going to get the Warp Surge. Oh, well, it was very sporting of that guy to run past the good Chaplain, triggering a reaction strike in order to shoot him and basically do no damage because... Oh, hang on. Oh, this is not good. Blight Lord Terminator, Plague Marine, another Blight Lord Terminator, and another Plague Marine. Right. And what are we going to get with the Warp Surge? And again, mutation. Resistances. Anything else? No, that's it. The good news is that all of my squad get a point of willpower back every time there's a Warp Surge, so that's, I'm sure, going to come in handy. I'm going to use the Chaplain to farm a kill, some willpower and more experience on this guy. And then with the one action point that the Chaplain has left, I'm going to put him into hard cover because Blightlord Terminators with autocannons. Now then, the good Librarian. There are a couple of hazards over here that these guys are going to have to go through to get to me, but actually I have a plan. Let's put everybody into concealment and set up some overwatch. So that's Iolanthus. Paladin Thule. Yep, get your ass back here. And yeah, we'll defend. It costs action rather than willpower, so it's fine. Although it's probably not going to be needed. Librarian Boros, get your ass back here. And again, more overwatch. I hope these guys don't use grenades. Here they come. Two points of armor damage because of half cover, so no problem. Plague Marine with a hazard spray. Here it comes. Okay. Again, no immediate threat. What's next? Yep, they're going for the Chaplain, but he's in hard cover, so 0 damage. And I believe he's now being suppressed. And then one of them sets up Overwatch. Okay, right. This is good. I only have to hold for one more turn, but let's see how much damage I can do in the meantime with some of these environmental hazards. So, Iolanthus, move to there. Now, with your Stormbolter, shoot that crane. This seemed like a great plan. I mean, you're always harping on at me to make more use of the environment, but the crane destroys Chaplain Storm's hard cover, resulting in him taking a whole bunch of damage from those bloody Plague Marines. So, Medicae Servo Skull. I knew I took this thing along for a reason. Honestly, there was no way I could have seen that coming. And we're just going to put him back into hard cover. But since hard cover doesn't appear to be quite as hard as I may have been led to believe, we're going to pop his Aegis Shield as well. Shoot this Plasma Cell maybe? Yeah? Yeah, why not? Wow, seriously? Plague Marine right next to a Plasma Cell. No knockback, no damage taken. I feel cheated. I demand a refund. And... oh, he's in hard cover. How come the hard cover works for them, but it doesn't work for me? Right, fine. Aegis Shield. We're just gonna ride this one out until the end of the turn. Let's move the Librarian up. And basically I want the guys with all of the bonus armor to be the ones to take the hits. So we'll move Paladin Thule up as well, because I really don't want anybody to take any more damage. And oh, actually, nah, screw it. We'll just defend. It'll be fine. So they get to act, and then that's it. Who's he going for? Paladin Thule? Paladin Thule has 10 armor. He can take it. What else you got? Oh, he's got a grenade. Oh, then again, affliction resisted. It's all good. And then he rushes forward to defend against the guy who encroached into his defense zone. This guy moves around. What's he going to do? Who's he going to go for? What is he doing? I'm not entirely sure what the point of all of that was, but I'm certainly not complaining. Again, Paladin Thule. He's got the armor. This is exactly why I put him up front. And is that it? No, one more Plague Marine. Overwatch, you can overwatch all you like, Sonny Jim. This is your last turn. We are out of here. So, that's the easy mission out of the way. You know, the one with the Chaos Dreadnought and the Blightlord Terminators. Hard mission next, but before that, let's see how many promotions we picked up for the new boys and what new abilities we get to unlock. Oh, look at that. 11 of the new Chaos Seeds. Oh, and it's Armory access first as well, isn't it? Although, I'm not actually too excited about these armory rewards. I mean, the war gear is only tier 1. It's 10% crit for a knight's melee attacks, which isn't bad, but I only have 7 requisition points. There's a set of tier 2 power armor, which isn't bad, I suppose, but the only marines I have that actually use power armor are the interceptors, and, well, Interceptor Storm has much better armor than that. This incinerator is a very nice tier 2 mastercrafted weapon, but it can only be used by purifiers, and I don't have any purifiers, so meh. Basically, none of that stuff was useful or interesting. But here's the good stuff: promotions. 1 for Librarian, Foros, fantastic. 2 ability points, where am I going to put them? Well, I'm definitely going to take the teleport boost ability. This is basically the same ability that your interceptors get with their teleport. A 50% chance every time they use any kind of teleport ability to recover the action points. So we're definitely having that. My second ability point is going into the Smite discipline. Not because I want to get the Smite discipline, although it's not a terrible ability to have. It's a psychic attack that can have unlimited range, ignore armor and do 4 damage. But because going through the Smite discipline gets to the Vortex of Doom discipline, which is amazing. Although you're going to have to wait a while in order to see it in action, because the good librarian is going to require a bit more experience first. Speaking of which, that was the easy mission. You know, the one with the Chaos Dreadnought and the Blight Lord Terminators. Coming up in the next video is the hard mission. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this one. And as always, be pure, be vigilant, behave.